Akron is going to take on Temple in this one. I'm showing Temple here is going to be a 10-point favorite, and the total here is currently at 57. In this one with Akron and Temple, I'm going to be on the over here for sure. Yeah, this is one of the few games that actually looks like it's kind of gone up here a little bit. But for me, that's the direction I'm going to go in this one with Akron and Temple. It opened maybe as low as 52.5. Temple seems to be getting the action here a little bit. I'm showing the opener was as low as 8, and now it's 10.5. So definitely seeing a move there a little bit towards the Temple Owls here at home. So I'm going to be on the over here in this one. Like I said, if you guys want to pop in with the comments, yesterday you guys were kind of just waiting on some of these games. Yep, no, I'm not Tucker. That's why I think why I took Stanford in that game. Ohio State and Indiana. How about this one? Man, it just seems like Indiana kind of gives these guys a business, doesn't it, a little bit? This game has gone up from what? I saw as low as, 27.5, 27? Now we're talking 30-ish. Hello, Indiana. Yeah, in this one, I got Ohio State on the road. I get it. I mean, they're certainly going to be a fine team again this season, but if I'm going to get more than 4 touchdowns, I'm probably going to be going that way. Got to be probably taking Indiana here the way I'm looking at it. You have, let's see here. I thought I had a few notes on the game. Look at the market move certainly here in this one with Indiana. The total open 57.5, currently at 60. I don't know if Ohio State's going to be putting up those big numbers here on the road in this one. I would think it would be closer to that opening number of 57. That's the way I would kind of feel. I'd be looking to the under here, I would think, with these two. And I'm going to take Indiana, though, as my play here on the show for sure. I think I was going premium, but, look, I think that it will be – I think it's going to be Ohio State's inability to cover that's going to allow this one maybe to go under. So if that's the case, I'm definitely going to take 4 touchdowns here. Did I even see some 30.5? Maybe it'll go up. Maybe I can even get another point or two. It's not that it matters. Again, I mean, when I look at big spread games like this, most of the score, yeah, there are some field goals, but you just got to generalize. And maybe this is a wrong game to do it in because there could be field goals. But sometimes when you got those games, you're trying to figure out the old Auburn's versus FCS team, right? The scores are in 7s. I mean, they're in 7s. So when you have a game that's like 28, you just say 28, right? Now it's 30. So, yeah, when you deal in certain numbers, there are no key numbers in college football. But to me, there are, to a certain extent, 24, 27, 28, 31, 33, 34, 35. You know how it is. So, all right, Jamal on Ohio State. Thomas says too many points. They always have trouble in that first game. And, Indiana, it's going to be, hey, the start of the game is 0-0. You're an Indiana fan. I mean, they're all going to be there. They show up to support their Hoosiers. It's still a tough environment. Ohio State's going to have to work on that. They'll be fine. Give me Indiana today. Saturday. And interesting. Oh, great. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, Burley, I got you. But all I need a few scores in, right? Shannon could use some help here. Anybody want to help Shannon by the end of finish off the chant? All right, go Bucks. Hey, I'm an Ohio State fan. I got Ohio State gear. I got my reasons. I follow alumni of Ohio State, and I've gone to their event. They're a fun team to hang out with for sure. I went to a Rose Bowl. I saw them play Arizona State in a classic Rose Bowl. Buffalo and Wisconsin. And Wisconsin, big favorite here. This one kind of has gone up, I would say, a little bit off the summer line. Now it's 29. Look, it opened as low as like 22, but quickly, maybe Buffalo's not going to be that same Buffalo that we've kind of seen. But we said that kind of last year, and they still kind of, punch their way through some success. So, big number now here all of a sudden for Wisconsin. They're never overly impressive of getting big numbers home, are they? Laying 29 here total right now at 54. And I don't know. For me in this one, I would think Wisconsin, they don't have that type of potential to put up that kind of number, really, do they? To roll this team like this by more than 4 touchdowns now. You talk about that 20, that 28. I don't want to say it's magic. There's no, secret. There's no, like I said, there's no key numbers in this situation. But when something goes past 27 after 29, that does grab my attention a little bit. I'm going to take Buffalo here plus 29 points. Come on. Let's go, Buffalo. Take the Bulls plus 29. I just don't know if Wisconsin has that overall offensive potential to get the blowout victory to make it go over this total. I mean, I would think it's going on under. I would look to that. It opened as low as 51 and a half, now 55. I think that 51 and a half is more accurate. This is one of the games that has gone up. Like I said, I may try to recoup some of those notes a little bit, but to me, it feels more like, 28 to 14, 28, 35, 35 to 14, 35 to 14, 35 to 17, 32, 31 to 17, 31 to 14. That's where I'm going with this game, I would think here. The MAC has had I talked about some of that they have not had success against them, but not with these two. When these teams have played a little bit more frequently than these guys have had some past matchups. Um, hmm. All right. Buffalo, by the way, was 7-0 to begin this 7-0 against the spread last season in their first 7 games. So let's take Buffalo here in this one. Let me see if I had that right. Justin Mindy's under the weather. She's on the 10-day disabled and 10-day injured list. And we're about halfway through it. The nights are long. The days are longer. Maybe Tucker's going over all day in this one. Frankie says, give me Buffalo. Tucker boy, Ohio State. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all that are taking off here. So, all right, yeah, Buffalo for me. I'm taking 4 touchdowns with Buffalo. They're money makers. Massachusetts and Auburn. So, yeah, here we go. But this isn't the Auburn versus, FCS. I was talking about the spread's right on 35, right? And I don't know, you could put the total there at 42 for another two touchdowns and a field goal, and there you go. So we're just expecting Auburn just to go out there and win by 5 touchdowns, I guess. Well, I guess they probably would, but the spread was higher. It opened as high as 40 during the early release, but now has gone down a little bit here to 35, and I don't know. It's going to got my attention a little bit, but I think more so, I like this move on the under. I'm more worried about Massachusetts getting to the end zone here in this one. I don't know if Auburn can. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can. They probably can get 35 actually. 38 to, well, let's see, 42 to 7, that's 35, but that's under. This one's tricky, right? All these are the ones everybody lays off. I know. I know everybody lays off games like this for sure. Oh boy, I'll take the under. I think Auburn probably gonna shut them out somehow. Win this one, 42-0, 42-3, 42-3, 42-7. God, 42-7 doesn't get there for Auburn. I'll be saying this all day, making up scores in my head. One thing I do is, when I print it, make sure that I print out on my printout, it prints out, and I got writing all over, but just take the spread, divide it in half, make sure the score and the line, you know, I know all the sites do it too, but they give you the projected score. It's basically just the total, but with the spread. No, all right, let's move on. South Florida and Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, favored by 11.5 here in this one against the Bulls. So I'm seeing that, a lot of those newsletters that that I like to read, they're kind of on Western Kentucky, and maybe they're on to something here. With Western Kentucky now just an 11.5 point favorite, open as high as 15 in the early release lines. The main release was even 14 at some point. So maybe there is value here with Western Kentucky. And look at that total. This is the total of the weekend. Even this one's gone down, but I don't know. They don't have any new rules, I would think, enough to slow this game down. I mean, I know we're dealing with the rule changes, but sure seems like this one's going high, even at 70. I feel like it's going through the roof. I feel like this one's going to be this is going to be the game. This is going to be the game. This is going to be the 42-35, something like that. That's what it feels like to me. I'm going over in this one. I've got it one of those ridiculous Western Kentucky games. I guess that's about all I can say about. They've got to put up something in the mid 40s, don't they? I think they could probably get the money, but what get 44 to 30, 44 to 30. That's my prediction. 44 to 30, I think, will be somewhere around there. 44 to 28, 44 to 31, 45 to 31. You heard it here first. That is not the spread necessarily divided. It's close, but I think that kind of puts me on Western Kentucky in the over. I'll take the over as my official play in this one. So, Jason calling for Auburn to roll in that other game. So, thank you, Jason. Rice and Texas. This is a big number here. Texas favored by 35 points. Total 58.5 in this one. So, yeah, there it is again, right there. 35 with that hook. It opened 34, so maybe not much value here. I don't know about the side. Feels like it's going to be about a 5-touchdown game. So I'd need this line to break one way or the other, probably for me to get on something here. If anything, I that hook puts me on Rice, but I don't know. Can Texas hang 50 here? They probably expect to. Man, so last year they crushed them. They have all those returnees. We know that. But what's the motivation of Texas here to beat up on Rice? Again, right? I guess they could do it with their eyes closed and roll through them here. But man, let's see. Rice last year, Rice lost. They played USC in the first game of the season and lost 66-14. That's a 52-point loss. So, man, I'm on the under here. Rice is going to have some issues. Whether or not Texas, if they end up blowing them out, I guess I'm going to be putting my ticket on the ground or tearing up my ticket and ripping it up and putting it on the floor. But I'm going to go under. Even with this slight move, I will lean under here. No, I'm not leaning under. I'm going under. Uh, 49, 40, 42 to 42 to 7 is the 35. 42 to 7. 42 to 7. Texas over Rice. 42 to 7. Might have a new show here. Projected scores right off the top of my head. All right. Boise State and Washington in this one. Let's see how we do here with Washington as a 2-touchdown favorite. And the total also 58.5. How about that? All right. Let's see. For these two, it opened as high as 15.5. So slight move here to Boise. I think that frees me up a little bit to get on Washington here. I think Boise's might be popular, but I don't know. I think Washington here is going to be the team. I'm going to be looking at Washington in this one against Boise to be able to cover 2 touchdowns. Quite honestly, here Washington coming off that 11-2 season with DeBoer as coach. I mean, great job, right? He picked up Washington right back and brought them kind of like Washington of old. Is anybody old enough to remember when Washington had some teams? Yeah, I think more than 2 touchdown victory is going to be in turn here. They've got obviously Penix. He could do. Everybody's going to be pretty high on him. I would think Huskers at 9-2 against the spread at non-conference games. So I definitely like that. Washington here. Let's see. They beat Boise 38-7 in the 2019 Las Vegas Bowl. I'm not too worried about too much about that. Boise, 14 starters back. Their sophomore quarterback did start 10 games last year. Boise 6-1 on the road as an underdog against the spread, but 5-10 against the spread in non-conference games over the last 4 years. Boise, great at turning it over. Washington will need to protect the ball. I think they can with DeBoer. I've got Washington here. I do like this game pretty strong. It maybe was going to be maybe not. Maybe not. I'm taking Washington minus 14 here against Boise. I think you guys. Well, nobody's really on these. I think the live show. Maybe I better start doing them. Maybe Mindy was here. You'd have more picks. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to find a solution here because not enough comments. Cal in North Texas. Thanks everybody for joining me today. So Cal going to take on North Texas. Cal on the road, 6.5 point favorite here. This one is a little bit later than the 3:30 start time. In this one, it's actually 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. I'm showing Cal 6.5. Total here at 54. And in this one, all right. Cal opened up. The summer line was as high as 10 points. So maybe a move here to the mean green. I don't have a problem with it. Look, they've got a new head coach coming in from Incarnate Word. Did a pretty good job there. They've got a veteran offensive line. This offensive line is supposed to be one of the best in the conference, or at least one of the most experienced. They have their quarterback comes in from Louisiana Monroe. He started almost 2 full seasons there. So let's see. AAC teams 8-0 against the spread against the Pac-12. So getting these points here. Cal, though, pretty decent, but mostly as an underdog. They're not really a great favorite, if I'm not mistaken. 2-7-1 against the spread as a road favorite. Now, that's a they're usually only a road favorite once or twice a year, so they're also 6-8 against the spread in non-conference. I might be more interested in Cal actually at this price. I know North Texas is getting a lot of support early on, some of those trends about Cal's road record here, but for me at 54, maybe we'll see on these rule change. I got to go over. I've got to go over in this one. I don't see them. I thought the original number, look, it opened as high as 58 and a half. Now it's down to 54. Maybe I think over. I've got the over. Maybe 60 points here in this one, especially if North Texas does have something to say offensively in this one. So Thomas on North Texas.